Hello and welcome to another episode of Paul Plays Infinifactory. The next puzzle on the list is this one, Relaxant Formula 13, so let's get started. I'll just pause it and have a look. Here we get something like a large tree produced, which has its trunk and the foliage, the leaves. An empty glass block, some sort of lid. This is the final product, which looks like a piece of tree trunk. This block here with the lid on top. And then we have this thing here, which explained to us here, takes these empty glass blocks, takes 3 blocks of foliage and fills them up. So that's the puzzle, and this is the final thing here all stacked together on top of itself. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is ignore this up here for the moment and try and get these the lid on the block. So let's try that. So let's see. Okay, this is getting here a lot faster, so if I was to make it wait. Yep, that looks fine, doesn't it? Basically the plan would be to detect when this block is in this square and start a push on this one, so the two of them reach this square together and they get a weld. So let's just do that. I'm going to need a pusher here. I need to know when the block has got this square. That looks right. And I'm going to join them up. And then I'd like to get them welded there. Okay, so that's the first part of it done. That's the, and then these will obviously need to be brought in here to be filled up. Okay, so then let's work on this tree. For each one of these, we're just going to run it. I'm still at input rate 0, so there's a tree being produced there, and the container, and there's the second one. So basically, although it might be more efficient in the long run to get more out of it, all I technically need is 3 foliage and 1 trunk from each of these trees. So let's get started with getting rid of the bits we don't need. So I think I'm going to try and take the foliage out of the 2 outer sections. It's going to be an awful lot of wastage because there's 1, 2, 3, 4. But as I said, I only need the 3 foliage, 1 trunk from each of these trees. So a lot of it is just going to be. So I need to get them 1, 2, 3, 4. Really, that was probably in the wrong place. How about that? So when they come through here, I'm going to need to support them somehow. Put a block here, get something from there. Bringing them this way. That's not going to work. That's going to have to be grinder, otherwise it won't push through. Might be far enough. Not sure. I don't think it doesn't look far enough to me. Okay, I don't need the top parts of these either, so let's get rid of them. And I don't need any of this trunk except the bottom piece. Nor do I need this rubbish at the side. So there is the piece of trunk, lovely, and I have 2 blocks here which I'll easily be able to get 3 out of, so I only need 3, so if I here. Okay, so I could put line here. Okay, that's fine. So I need to support. I'm gonna chop this one into 2 parts. So I'm gonna need to support it somewhere else. Here, so a gap. So let's reset that. Let's do that and another one to bring this one out, and then here and here. I'm gonna chop that in half. Okay, so looking okay. We have 4 of them. We'd prefer 3. I'm not sure what difference it'll make if I send 4 down. We'll be overproducing, so it'll cause some backup in the machine as we try and make 10. So I'd probably rather not do it. So let's just look at this. So can I chop off one of these back ones? Possibly. Yes, if I was there looking backwards with an eviscerator, that would probably work, would it? No. I'll get it right one of these days. How about that? Fabulous. Okay, so we now have the 1 trunk and the 3. So this is to bring it down and get it into the rather bring it over all in one go. That's too far. I'll go back one where I had it. Okay, fine. There we go. That'll do. Now I'd like to keep it up because I'm going to put it into... I'm going to put it into here, so I need it this high, going in like that. That'll be my perfect. Spin that around whilst I have it all selected. Do it again. Spin it round. Okay. Not sure that needs supporting. No, it doesn't. So that should then produce that. Then I need to get the I'm bringing the trunk in now on this line here. So let's see what we have. Comes 3 foliage. Oh, trunk. So they come... Okay, and that doesn't work either. Okay, so let's fix up these couple of little bugs. That's done there, and find out where this trunk piece has gotten to. Obviously there, because... Now, a quick look where we're at now. Fast forward this a bit. There's the trunk arriving. Ah, I'd forgotten about this. The double heightness of these of the containers. So let's bring that in at that height. Why not? Now let's see if we've got anything approaching. So here's the container arrive, these 3 arrive to fill it up. Now, would I rather it do that? Would I rather the container arrive slightly slower into this? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'd like to do with this. Let's have a quick one more look at it and see where I'm at. So the problem is this is going to take a little time to fill up after it gets here. And these got here after the container arrived. So I need to detect them coming in, so if I was to leave that there, one, two, three. Put a sensor here. And some pushers. Run the conduit. And run that there. Uh-oh. Help if this is going the right direction. So, I mean, there are two options now to get rid of it. I'm probably just going to take a timer off this one. I don't like particularly doing it, but I'm just going to do it now, maybe off this block here. I'm going to have a pusher here. Run the conduit. Put a sensor there. See how that works. I mean, that'll fire once at the start when it's not needed, but yeah, it does that obviously, doesn't it? Okay, let's not do that. That's rubbish. That's terrible. So, the other thing I could do is create a little timer circuit back here for the push. Okay, so let's just see how long this would need to be. Maybe long enough. So basically the idea here is there's going to be a block, just one of these blocks, excuse me, sitting above it. That's going to drop in at the start of the level. It shouldn't be locked by anything. There's going to be a pusher. An awkward place to work, isn't it, really? Probably should have picked somewhere better. Pusher there. And there's going to be... that pusher is going to be triggered by the same signal which sent the... which sent these off. So basically this block will then start a journey here, so we can have it in time whatever length, well, any length. It's a multiple of 2, unless we want to do something a bit cleverer with actually with any length at all, because we can put the sensor wherever we'd like. So then maybe if we put a sensor here, like that, and then a pusher here, so we can have a look at that. So basically the idea of this, it's the first time I've really done one of this. I just wanted to put one of these in one of these puzzles. When we've got 3 blocks here, it pushes them. That's going to take some time for them to get in there. So basically what this does is then this block is dropped down here and sits here throughout the puzzle. It pushes it, it takes a strip here, and then when we detect it here again, we push it off. So we can just put this sensor wherever we'd like, or adjust the length of this path to give us some time increment before we push off it should stay there. There that goes. Okay, that's rubbish, because what I did this time was this is now stuck to the wall, so this just doesn't work at all. Okay, so how am I gonna... well, technically it can be anywhere at the start, can't it? Oh, I don't have any square here that's not got something attached to it. No, that's still got something attached to it, even though because these are solid squares here. Ah, this is nonsense. Okay, that should do it. Fast forward this again, have a look. We've got that comes in here. And that didn't trigger that because obviously I haven't connected that at the back. Brilliant. Okay, let's try one more time. Feeling this could be a long puzzle. Okay, and that was too quick. And that looks perfect. Okay, so that's pushed. So we put a little time delay in here, so when we get 3 in, it takes some length of time for them all to drop in here and fill up this container. This delay approximates it, and then it pushes it off. Great stuff. Okay, so we need to take this down here. And then we need the block of wood, which should be here. For the bottom, which I presume has got here long before. There's the block of wood. In fact, so long we've had 2 of them in, so let's just rest one of them there. Okay, so we've got to finally, the last part of this then, is to get this container up on top of this piece of wood. And to do that, we're obviously going to use a lifter. Up, push, push, maybe. Yes, I think something like that would work fine. Okay, so I'm going to put a lifter here. So it's got here, it's going to be too high, but we want it lifted up 1, so that's where it's going to be. I'm going to put a sensor above it to know when it's got here, and then I'm going to put a pusher here to push it off on top of that. Link them with conduit, remove the mold, got to support them in space somehow, like that. That rises up here, gets pushed here on top. Then we need welders to grab it. So this should have slid in here on top of this one, which was waiting. And then I need to detect that it has arrived. So again, it's going to be another looking down sensor with a pusher underneath it, spun around correctly. And then hopefully that pushes it out this way. So the path then in looks a bit like that. So let's have a look at the final part of this. There's the block. Yes, that looks reasonable. Brilliant. Okay, so for those who have been watching all these episodes, thanks. That's some should be an achievement for that somewhere. The only thing I've done new in this one is I just wanted to mess around with these timer loops. I mean, I don't know. What basically is happening here is when we detect the 3, we send a block of our own, which we just dropped in at the start of the level, on a bit of a course, and use it to take a timer afterwards. Everything else we've seen before, lifters, whatever. I mean, I presume that by getting more out of each tree, you might be able to speed things up. I don't know. But I mean, again, you're getting a tree for each one of these, so at speed 1 or at input rate 1, or input rate 0, should I say, there's not a lot of point to doing it. So here we go. Where are we at now? 1, 0. Okay, so I mean, fairly average, but it's done. Okay, I'm going to go back to the cell. Have a quick look where we're at. Terrestrial drone will be the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like it, please leave a like on the video. If you have any comments about the solution, how terrible or how good it was, feel free to leave them. Thanks again for watching.